Football with fans, the super fans here at Boston College on a beautiful afternoon in Chestnut Hill, Mass. Getting set to cheer on their Eagles. They're tailgating, and they're making their way inside the stadium. You're watching ACC Network Football presented by Subway. The open to the 2021 season here in Boston College. The fans, clearly they're excited to be back in the stands as the student section here in full force, and the Colgate Raiders out of the Patriot League in attendance today to take on the Boston College Eagles out of the ACC. But you knew that. Chris Cotter alongside Mark Hertzlick. Do you have a yellow Superfan t-shirt on underneath there?
I should.
You're kind of like a fan right
Fans
now, too.
Fans are back.
Oh, we are so excited about it. I know Mark's excited. I'm excited about it, too. And BC fans are excited about this team that Jeff Hafley's putting on the field. Last year, 6-5, but expectations are ramped up for this year, aren't they?
Yeah, they are. And the coaches got more time with their players. They actually got them in the meeting rooms, got to watch film with them. And Jeff Hafley has put together a coaching staff that's a bunch of NFL guys who have come down to the college level. They've gotten recruits that show it. And this team has really vibed off Jeff Hafley and the way he's brought family into coaching.
Yeah, and they've certainly got a lot to be excited about this year in a lot of different areas.
Yeah, they sure do. And it all starts with number 5, Phil Dracovic. And he is the guy. He's the guy at quarterback. He transferred in from Notre Dame. They needed him in order to execute this Frank Cignetti pro-style offense. And what we are looking at this year is returning 20 players from last year's team. The continuity that this offense is going to have is going to be explosive. Phil Dracovic is going to throw the ball downfield to guys like Zay Flowers and other receivers. They are primed to be potent this year.
Gone are the days of handoff to A.J. Dillon left, handoff to A.J. Dillon right. They're going to throw the football, and Dracovic had such a good year last year. I ask you, how on earth is he going to improve upon that in 2021?
It's all about confidence. He had confidence in his physical ability last year to make plays that were kind of unscripted. This year, he has confidence in the playbook. So when you combine those two things, he is on a path to be one of the greatest quarterbacks we've ever seen at Boston College. Maybe not Doug Flutie, Matt Ryan, but he's going to be right up close to that.
Well, he certainly is off to a great start. Speaking of starts, Stan DeCoste is the new head coach at Colgate. He's hoping to turn around a team that's had so much success at the Patriot League level, but not in the last couple of years.
Yeah, it's been 2 years since we've really seen the Colgate football that we're used to seeing in that Patriot League. And Stan DeCoste, he is the guy. He's been around this program for 19 years, 4 as a player, 15 as an assistant coach. Now it's his time to turn this back around to winning football.
Well, we're excited to have fans back. Nobody in our crew, though, more excited than Jalen Johnson, because she's right down there in the thick of things. What's going on, Jalen?
You guys, this is what we've been waiting on. College football to be back the way it's supposed to be, with fans, with the band, with cheerleaders. When we talked to both teams yesterday, their eyes and their faces lit up when we talked about playing in front of a crowd. I talked to Isaiah Graham Mobley yesterday, and he just said it's exciting to feel like you have a support system behind you. Phil Dracovic said he's excited to just hear noise when they make a big play, and both head coaches have family here. So, guys, college football is back.
It is back. We're excited for it. Boston College, high expectations. The fans know it. Hertz, you and I were walking around campus yesterday. A lot of activity.
Yeah, there's a lot of activity. Today they opened this game off. They had the fans, the student section. The student section led the team out. They ran on the field. What a great way to welcome back the students on campus and the fans back in the stands. Great day for college football in Chestnut Hill.
Boston College won the coin toss and elected to receive, so we'll get a chance to see Phil Dracovic right away. Spencer Biscoe kicking off for Colgate, toe meets leather, and we are underway in the 2021 season. Travis Levy will receive it in the end zone, and Boston College, their offense, will take the field.
Yeah, and we talked about Phil Dracovic in the open, but as we look at this player, I mean, Phil Dracovic, he is a big-bodied quarterback. He's 6'5", 230. He can move really well in the pocket as well. But really, the play doesn't start until he makes that first man miss, and that's where you see the 61% completion percentage from last year. He finds his receivers. He's accurate. And this year, I think they're going to have a little more run game sprinkled in. We were asking Coach, said, are you just going to abandon the run like you did last year? He said, no way. We got to run the ball.
No, they want to be a little bit more balanced in terms of their offensive attack. Travis Levy, the lone setback. Dracovic to throw to Flowers immediately in the flat. Has room, turns the corner, 45, midfield, past midfield into Colgate territory. There's the explosiveness that we're so used to seeing from All-American candidate Zay Flowers.
Yeah, and as we watch Zay Flowers, we talk to the coaches, and we just know by watching, if the ball is in his hands, he is explosive. The ball just a little quick swing pass out there, and he goes. He is almost impossible to take down. You saw the entire Colgate defense just trying to force him to the sidelines. Down the field, quick pass, whatever it is, get number 4 of the ball.
33 yards for the Blitnikoff watch list receiver out of Florida. Now the give to Levy. Stutter steps in the backfield. Finds some good room on the left side. Give him about 6 yards on first down.
Yeah, and good push up front by this offensive line. As we look at this offensive line, they're returning all 5 starters from last year, and they were not happy with their production last year in the ground game. Good first carry pickup of 6 yards on that first down, and this is something they're going to need to establish. Reset the line of scrimmage in the defensive backfield to give the running backs like Travis Levy, Pat Garwo, Alex Sinkfield, and freshman Xavier Coleman room to run.
Levy now flanked to Dracovic's left. Flowers in motion. Now back to the right side. Quick pop pass to Flowers. He's got blockers in front of him. Cuts it back inside. Still on his feet inside the 20 and brought down at the 18.
All right, well, they've run 3 plays, and 2 of them have gone to number 4, and there's a reason why. All this is a little quick jet sweep where you get Luchetti out in front, the big tight end, but his ability to have vision of blindside tacklers coming and avoiding them, I mean, that's elite stuff, and that's stuff that will carry him on to the next level.
Another 17 yards on the pitch and catch to Flowers. Dracovic under center. Yes, some college quarterbacks do go under center, and Phil Dracovic is one of them. On the rollout, hits his tight end Luchetti. Takes 2 or 3 Raiders to bring him down. Milton Brosh, one of the captains, inside linebacker for Colgate on the tackle, but good yardage again on first down for Boston College.
Yeah, again, combining the play action. Fake that outside zone and saw the tight end leaking back. A lot of these condensed formations for Boston College early in this game.
Levy up the middle. Has a first down and more. It'll be first and goal for the Eagles.
And what those condensed formations do, they put defenses in a bind because you can hand the ball to a wide receiver on a sweep, a running back up the middle. You can do a lot out of those formations and explode out of them. Here they go fast.
Levy into the second level, got popped after he picked up a couple of yards. Got down to the 3. It looked like Zach Pelland was right there to meet him. Boston College doesn't go quickly very often, or at least last year they didn't, but they're moving quickly now. Levy trying to find the end zone and does. 2 minutes and 20 seconds into the season for the Eagles. They scored their first touchdown.
And they did it predominantly on the ground. Any pass play was under 5 yards. It was get the ball in our players' hands and let the blockers go downfield and run the football. Boston College also sped up the tempo, as you mentioned, Chris, and getting away from their usual tendencies is something that they want to put on film early in the season. Great run, great blocking up front, good drive by Boston College.
Danny Longman will be handling the place-kicking duties today for BC. On for the point after try. And he splits the uprights. Fans are back, and they're loving what they're seeing so far here at Chestnut Hill. The Eagles on the ground take the early lead.
Legends never die.
Boston College, 7 plays, 75 yards. Took just 2 minutes and 20 seconds off the clock. Their first offensive drive of the season ended up in points. And they've taken a 7-0 lead over the Colgate Raiders. William Gruber back to return this kick. And Danny Longman will put it in play for BC. Gruber, all Patriot League return man, calls a fair catch, and we'll get our first look at this offense under offensive coordinator Brent Basham, who we spoke to during the week, Mark, and head coach Stan DeCoste.
Yeah, and Brent Basham, he talked a lot about his quarterback, Grant Brenneman. He's a guy, he's played 32. This is his 33rd game at Colgate, and he's started 32 of those games. And he's a guy with a lot of experience. This team only played 2 games, as you mentioned, last spring.
Right.
And they really don't know who they are quite yet. They didn't have a good season the year before, and they're really trying to get back on that Patriot League winning cycle. And a lot's going to be set up here in this game and find out what their players can really do for this team.
Officials need to make sure we mark the ball in the right spot.
That would help.
Fair catch. We scrimmage from the 25. We all got to knock the rust off a little bit here and there. You and I do as well. Jalen on the field. Now we're set and ready to go. Brenneman will keep it himself, and he's met right at the line of scrimmage. Big old Cam Horsley is there to set him back, and there'll be no gain on first down.
Cam Horsley, big boy up front, but right there, first play, a quarterback lead dive. This is what Grant Brenneman can do. He's so good at running the football, over 1,000-yard rushing in his career. He also has over 4,000 yards passing in his career, so he can really do both. Look for a lot of these 3-by-1 sets, get the ball out on the perimeter or the read option with the quarterback in the backfield.
Second down and 10, Brenneman to throw, has time, has a tight end, and he makes the catch. That'll be a first down. William Parker on the receiving end. And Jaden Woodby, first time we've mentioned his name in a Boston College uniform, defending the transfer from Florida State.
Yeah, really good throw by Grant Brenneman on the out route. Colgate loves to do high-low routes where they're going to put a running back out in the flat, leak a tight end in behind or a wide receiver in behind. If Boston College continues to play zone, those things are going to be open. We'll see if Boston College switches over to man. Looks like they are now.
Brenneman to give to Hurlman. Gets outside, picks up about 3 on first down. Hurlman, the main back in this backfield, not a typical Colgate back as far as what offensive coordinator Brent Basham was telling us. They normally have more of a downhill, a bruiser back, but Hurlman's the type of back that'll make you miss.
Yeah, Malik Twyman's a guy that he was on this team last year and the previous couple years. He was that big bruiser. But you look at that there, Max Hurlman. I mean, he's a track guy. He played lacrosse in high school. He's making some guys miss, getting out there, getting shifty.
Not a very highly recruited young man out of high school. As a matter of fact, Colgate was his only D1 offer, but they think he's going to be a really good back over the years. Nowhere to run for Hurlman on this play. Great penetration from Isaiah Graham Mobley and company.
Yeah, and Brandon Barlow is in there too. Brandon Barlow, one of those fifth-year seniors coming in. He's excited, able to make waves this year. But you look on that left side of your screen, the puller just could not get around. That was Michael Griggs, the right guard, pulling around, trying to block Brandon Barlow. Barlow was just too fast in the backfield.
Third and a long 9 now for the Raiders.
Yeah, look for pressure here. Boston College has their pressure package out in the field. See Sheeta Salah on the bottom of your screen at that end. He is their rush guy.
The Eagles come with some pressure on the outside. Picked up initially. Brenneman, though, nowhere to go, and he'll be sacked.
Cam Horsley again got that sack. Another big play, and it was Sheeta Salah off the edge that forced Brenneman to step up in the pocket. You see Sheeta Salah, number 11, getting his hands inside. Forced Brenneman to come up the middle. Good stop on third down after giving up a first down by Boston College defense.
Forcing Colgate to punt, Travis Levy. Back to return this Shelby Pruitt kick. He'll let it bounce, pick it up on the hop. He'll be brought down after a gain of just a couple on the return. The Eagles will take over from their own 27. Well, we talked about it in the open, Mark. Phil Dracovic, the transfer from Notre Dame, grew up in the Pittsburgh area. Last year, his first year here in this offense, coaches said didn't even know him, really, because he couldn't even come into my office to meet with him. But he had a great year and expecting big things from him this year.
Oh yeah, well they knew him because they were watching him put up outrageous numbers on the field, but they didn't really know who he was as a person. And Frank Signetti, the offensive coordinator, really said, look, I love coaching the man. I get to know the man, and then I get to let him understand football through his own lens. Now that Signetti understands Drakovic's lens, he can coach him even better. See if it pays off on the field.
Jaden Williams, here's the freshman. They love this kid's talent. First down and more, out near the 40. Brosh again from his linebacker spot, making the stop. But these coaches at Boston College compare true freshman Jaden Williams out of Texas to Zay Flowers. They say now we got a Zay Flowers type on the other side.
Yeah, they said he's basically Zay Flowers but bigger. I said, what? He can run like Zay Flowers, but he's bigger? That you saw right there. Pretty good job on that toss crack. However, Milton Brosh, he got there. He caught him. That was a good play by that middle linebacker.
Now Alex Sinkfield in the backfield for the Eagles, a transfer from West Virginia, a little bit of a bigger back. Travis Levy, but very similar. Sinkfield now on the carry. Gets to the edge, collides with Blaine Briggs, an inside linebacker spot for the Raiders, and is able to fall forward for a gain of 4.
Yeah, Blaine Briggs and Milton Brosh, two guys we've called their names early. They're the leaders of this Colgate defense. Really solid run defending linebackers in the middle of the field. They can both get downhill, and look at that eye black. That is absolutely fantastic. I love it.
Zero.
And zero.
And a number 0 from linebacker with the eye black.
That is LB swag right there. I love it. Also good tackle.
One of the captains on this team, one of 2 captains on the defense for the Raiders. Sinkfield avoids the first tackler and picks up a couple. Connor Meyer. Well, I love the way Coach Paul Schafter described Connor Meyer. He says he's a fighter. And when you're in that 3-4 defense and you're that 0 technique nose tackle, you got to fight because you're going to be getting bodies slamming into you on every play.
Oh, you are. And he runs to the ball on screen plays. And now this is the first third down of the game that Boston College really needs to convert. I mean, this is prime opportunity for Colgate to make a stop. And Boston College comes out at the top of your screen, a little short receiver right there.
Nice play defensively. That was William Gruber, the all-conference cornerback for the Raiders. And it looks like Colgate may force Boston College to punt on their second possession.
Yeah, and that's exactly what happened. They kind of gave it away with the formation. That wide receiver was close to the formation. Jaden Williams didn't turn his head fast enough back to Phil Dracovic, and that hurt him. Great play on the outside by William Gruber.
After BC marched right down the field on their first offensive possession, Colgate with a defensive stand, and they'll get the football back. Fair catch by Garrett Oakey, and the Raiders will get another opportunity here offensively for their second drive of the day. BC up early, 7-0 here in the first.
ACC Network Football is presented by the Eat Fresh Refresh at Subway and in part by Sport Clips, the pros in men's hair.
Welcome back, fans, here in Chestnut Hill and tailgating the way I like it. I saw some bacon. I'm seeing some Wagyu burgers on the grill. I was up here prepping for the game and was not a part of that. I'm disappointed.
Yes.
Next, live and learn.
It just looks delicious right now.
Second offensive possession for Colgate. After forcing a punt from Boston College, so Grant Brenneman, 8th all-time on the Raiders' annals in terms of passing and total offense. Rolling out, being chased. Sheeta Salah is going to get there.
Wow, how about that speed from Sheeta Salah? That was a great job. He came off the edge, got fooled initially, but he retraced his steps. You see him come off the right side of your screen, number 11, turns around, understands that it's rollout, and he just pursues from inside out. Great job. They're expecting big things from Salah this year.
You know, we've been talking about him for a couple of years, how he got here, the athleticism, the length, just the raw ability. But, you know, Tim Lukabu, the defensive coordinator, says it's all about mentality now. And if he puts it all together this year, he could have a special year. End around, there's room for Bradley. He's going to pick up a first down. Nice play call by this Colgate offense. And Brent Basham and company provides a first down for the Raiders.
Yeah, and this Colgate offense, this is something that Boston College really does need to work on throughout this year. They got hurt last year with the mobile quarterback, the jet sweep, the kind of misdirection plays. And that's exactly what this Colgate offense is doing, and that's what they've had success with on that one drive. So Boston College needs to hone in, focus on the quarterback, see their reads, and be disciplined.
Brenneman adjusting the play from the gun. Perlman met almost as soon as he took the handoff by Salah coming down the line. He was able to fall forward for a yard.
And that's exactly what we're talking about by Sheeta Salah, understanding that I have the dive man. I don't have to worry about the quarterback on that zone read. He comes right off the left edge, right down the line, and tackles the running back. That's a great play. And you talked about his confidence. Sheeta Salah's mentality he put on weight. And when I said, what did that do for him in terms of his confidence? They said he understands that he is physical enough to accomplish the things that he mentally thinks he can do, and that's going to take him to that next level. Great job on the last couple plays by Sheeta Salah.
6'4", 253 now to start the year is Salah. Brenneman to throw. Out in the flat as a receiver wide open. That's his tailback. Hurlman close to midfield. Another nice play by the Raiders. And Mike Palmer was there to bring him down, but not before a long play. Safety, Jason Maitre brings him down.
Yeah, and Vinny DePalma, number 42, got caught up in the traffic. As an inside linebacker, you have to look outside. Are there any receivers or tight ends that could possibly get in my way covering this running back? They did get in his way. He did not get around it. Great play by Colgate, understanding leverage and getting the ball to their back out in the sideline.
And Hurlman showing his versatility out of that tailback spot. Now carrying it, trying to find some room inside. It's tough sledding. Wrestled down by T.J. Ram. Donovan Ezeraku, the true freshman defensive end, is in on the play too, number 6.
I am impressed with the way Colgate offensively is playing right now. Brent Basham has got a really good game plan going on. Boston College is playing tough and physically, but after that first offensive drive from Boston College, the momentum has really been on Colgate's side.
And they've used a couple of big plays on this drive to get out of the shadow of their own goalpost now and get it into Boston College territory. 2nd down and 7.
Boston College playing man-to-man.
Brenneman to throw again, pressure up the middle, and just gets rid of it. All kinds of heat on him right through the middle of that line. It looked like that might have been Cam Horsley coming in.
Yeah, it was good coverage on the back end. And really nothing open right away. They tried to get the running back in the flat again against the linebacker. And now it's 3rd down, a big 3rd down on Boston College side of the field. Let's see if Boston College brings pressure. Tem Lukabu loves to bring pressure. He's got both linebackers mugged up in that A gap. Let's see if they come, or most likely one will drop out and one will come.
4 wideouts in the tight end. Parker in there to provide a little protection. And the throw was behind Oki and covered nicely that time on the play by Sean Asbury.
Yeah, Sean Asbury, true freshman playing that nickelback. Really good job of understanding where the wide receiver is. The wide receiver gets close to the white on the outside. Turn your head back because the ball has to be coming. That is a really, really good play by a true freshman defensive back for this Boston College team.
Shelby Pruitt to punt the ball away for Colgate. Travis Levy standing on his own 10-yard line to receive it. End over end kick will get a good bounce. It does for Boston College, and down to the 25-yard line, and that's where BC will take over. Once again, an opportunity to see this explosive offense. The Eagles coming back on the field. Full day of football here, week 1 on the ACC Network. Coming up at 4 o'clock, UMass and Pitt. Then at 7:30, Northern Illinois and the Institute. ACC Network primetime matchup presented by Geico. A couple more games after ours. We're off to a pretty good start here, though. 7-0. Boston College took their first offensive drive, marched right down the field. But since then, Colgate has been sharp. Jaden Williams couldn't hang on to the ball on 1st down. It'll bring up 2nd down and 10.
It's funny, when we talked to Jeff Hafley and about these freshmen, like Jaden Williams, I said, like, how good are they going to be right now? And he said, look, we don't know. They have great talent. They're awesome in practice. But when they hit the field, he said about 2 or 3 days ago, they started getting a little tight. You saw that little tightness out right there by Jaden Williams dropping that pass. He'll reel that in.
Luchetti in motion, now tight. Play action, Djokovic rolling, hitting Luchetti. He hangs on and then drops it. Now they're going to roll this one incomplete. So 2 drops in a row for these Boston College receivers.
And that one's easy. That one you absolutely have to come down with. Joey Luchetti, talked to the coach, they said he's our best all-round tight end. Obviously that includes blocking. But that's a position that Hunter Long played last year. He led the nation in receptions for tight end. And that is absolutely going to have to be caught if we want this pro-style offense to work. And Frank Signetti needs that from his tight end. Now brings up a 3rd and 10. Tough conversion for Boston College.
Colgate brings just 4. It's picked up. Dracovic with all kinds of time. Now he rolls the pocket, directs his receivers, and throws into open space, and it falls incomplete. So a 3-and-out forced by this Raider defense.
Great job by Colgate defensively. Again, tried to look for his big tight end, Trey Berry, who transferred in from Jacksonville State. The 6'7" tight end in the middle of the field just wasn't able to adjust. But now Colgate defensively, off of 2 drop passes from Boston College, is going to get the ball back with great field position as Boston College is forced to punt.
Grant Carlson puts his toe into it. That's a good kick. And it'll take a Boston College bounce, and another one inside the 15, rolling down, even inside the 10. 65 yards on that kick for Grant Carlson. I mentioned Stan DeCoste. He's been a member of this Colgate program as a player and as an assistant for a long time. First year as head coach, was a teammate of Boston College defensive corner, that man right there, Tem Lukapu, when he was an all-conference linebacker at Colgate.
Yeah, look at this old school football picture. They were a couple years apart, but they said they were buddies, both on the defensive side of the ball. You see them together. They actually coached together at Colgate in 2014. Tem coached the linebackers and Stan coached the defensive backs. And now they're reunited once again on this field, but opposite sides.
Brenneman to throw quickly out to the flat. Nice job by Joshua Zott corralling that one. Gain of 7 on the play. Interestingly enough, too, between these two, Tem said they still talk all the time, and during the summer, knowing they were going to open the season against each other. I thought it was a beautiful play on DeCoste's part. He sent them all kinds of wishbone diagrams, right? Just to give him something to think about, right? Wishbone. What are you talking about? You want to talk about a wishbone offense?
Yeah, Tem said he's crazy enough to actually run it. Right now, I don't think he's going to run any wishbone. Their offense is working pretty well. Boston College defense has their hands full.
2nd down and 3. Here's Hurlman. Nice job of finding the hole, and he'll pick up the 1st down. Jalen Johnson has more on this relationship. Jalen? We'll check in with Jalen here in a little bit. As you got to see both those coaches and friends.
Empty set right now from Colgate.
Brenneman will keep it. Looks for a hole and finds it. More success offensively for Colgate as he's close to another 1st down. Let's try Jalen again.
Coach Lukapu said he wasn't sure how he was going to feel because it's the first time in his life that he's rooting against Colgate. But all that Jeff Hafley said was, please just don't give out our playbook. Just don't do it.
Yeah, I don't think you have any worry about that.
No, not at all. And right now, I mean, I'm starting to hear chirping from the fans in the stands here at Boston College. And they expected BC to come out and roll and dominate defensively against this Colgate offense. And they have not done that yet. And again, all the credit to Colgate and Grant Brenneman for really making this thing happen.
Brenneman and Hurlman. This time it's Hurlman's opportunity to get a 1st down, and he does just that. So we're inside of a minute left in this 1st quarter. That initially looked like it was going to be dominated by Boston College. And after that 1st drive, Mark, it's actually been Colgate has really had the upper hand.
Yeah, they have, and it's been because of Boston College's self-inflicted mistakes. Not understanding where to be defensively, covering a running back, and then dropping passes. I mean, these are little things that, yes, you get the kinks out in the 1st game, but a seven-point lead is not enough versus this Colgate team that is executing really, really well right now.
Wilkie in motion. Fake the handoff to him. Brenneman keeps it. Give him about 3 on 1st down. That will most likely be the final play of this 1st quarter.
And as Tem Lukapu and Jeff Hafley get their team to the sidelines, one thing is on their mind. They are telling their team to focus. Focus in on the task at hand. Let's get this thing moving. And Stan DeCoste loves where his team is. They get the ball back. When we come back from break after this 1st quarter, the excitement has been palpable. Fans in the stands Boston College, Colgate, when we come back.
Cotter Herzlich Johnson back in Chestnut Hill. You're watching ACC Network Football presented by Subway as we are getting set to start the second quarter. 2nd down and 7 for the Raiders. Boston College went 75 yards in their first drive of the game. Since then, last 2 drives, 20 total yards. They've been outgained 80-20 during that time frame as Casamajor just buries his head into the thick of that Boston College defense and picks up a couple.
Yeah, this Boston College defensive line, they're not at full strength right now. Chibuzi Onwuka, who was a projected starter, he's going to be out for the season. And then they got other guys who have been banged up. Marcus Valdez is out for this game. Had a cast on his hand at practice yesterday. So this defensive line, they're young, they're inexperienced. However, they need to stop giving up 2-3 yard gains with dives right up the middle. Now 3rd down, let's see if they get after the quarterback.
William Parker in the backfield. Brenneman now pumps. Now he's under pressure, and Cito will bring him down. Sheeta Salah with his 2nd sack of the day.
Yeah, really good twist game up front. We talked about the youth and inexperience on that defensive line. They brought the defensive tackles, went outside. The defensive ends came inside. Great loop play, good strength by Sheeta Salah to take quarterback down for a sack. Put the ball back in your offensive hands. Hopefully they worked out the kinks and make a drive.
Pruitt to punt. 2nd straight punt, that's a little subpar. This time takes a Colgate bounce though. Levy picks it up. Can he get to the outside? No, brought down at the 33, but a nice pickup on the punt. Milton Brosh was there. That's a captain for you, isn't it? Your starting inside linebacker, also on special teams, making a big play. Time now for our Aflac trivia question. Coach Jeff Hafley was 6-5 in his first season as head coach here at Boston College last year. Who had the best 2-season start in Boston College history? I think you know the answer.
I think I might know this answer.
Because you've got stake in this game.
I do. No clues.
I think I just gave a pretty big clue there.
Decent clue. Decent clue.
When we mentioned that first drive for Boston College, what can they do now? It's been a while since they've been able to have any success. Dracovic hands it off to Levy. Bangs his way on that left side. Picks up about 3 yards.
Yeah, they're getting back to the run game. You saw the run game on that first drive, and then it was 1st down, 2nd down, 3rd down pass. Now Boston College is going fast again, little unusual. Back to the run.
Levy tries to bounce it outside, cannot do so. Trevor Thompson is there to make the stop. Thompson, a young man who's been around this program for a little while, but he's been banged up, had knee injuries. First time we've seen him 100% healthy in a while. It's the first time we've really seen this team together in a while. Keep in mind, Colgate, as an FCS team, they played a spring schedule. They had 4 games scheduled, Mark. They played only 2. Lost both those games, didn't play any games in the fall of 2000. So many of these players are just getting their first action, even though they might be sophomores and juniors school-wise.
Yeah, and they are geared up for this game. It looks like Boston College has not been. They really need to get their head in the game, and they've been making mental mistakes. They have to stop that.
Underneath. Can Levy get it on his own? He does. Picks up the 1st down.
And that's how you do it. You start going to your veterans. Bill Dracovic dropped back. He saw his 5th-year senior running back right in the middle of the field. He trusts him with the football, put the ball on him, picked up a 1st down. It's been a lot of these new guys, these young guys. Jaden Williams missing a catch. Trey Berry, the tight end, missing a catch. On that last stop for no yardage, it was Trey Berry again missing a block. So these young guys, these inexperienced guys, need to start getting more confidence in their play. And that's going to be on the back of some of these more experienced guys, the offensive line in running the ball, and then the backfield with Travis Levy.
The fake to Singfield. Dracovic is going to keep it. Trying to get outside, takes a big hit. Now Dracovic is a big dude, so he's going to deliver a hit to a defensive back as much as he's going to take one, but that was a collision.
Yeah, but now he's holding his arm down on his side a little bit, which is not what you want. So that is something you don't want to happen to your quarterback. A guy who is, in NFL terms, your franchise quarterback. You don't want him to get hit. When we talked to Frank Signetti, he said there's not a lot of design quarterback runs, so that might have been a broken play.
On a 1-yard gain early in the second quarter of your first game of the year. Now under center, sink field, alone back, fake to him, play action. He's going to look to go deep. Now as a receiver wide open, that's the tight end Berry. Inside the 20, leaping over defender inside the 10 and scores.
All right, well, we talked about Trey Berry, dropped a pass and missed the block, but guess what? That is why they brought him in from Jacksonville State. Trey Berry, the 6'7" tight end, has speed, he's got hands, and you saw that athletic ability at the end of the run to jump over the defender. That'll get the momentum moving.
Sort of Lamar Jackson-esque, slightly different.
Well, yeah. Don't go there. That was a pretty good hurdle, but that was not Lamar Jackson. Great touchdown by Trey Berry.
The transfer from Jack State with the catch, refusing to be denied his first touchdown as a member of this Eagles football team. BC extends their lead. "51 yards from Jurkovec to Berry." That lit a fire under this crowd. The super fans now fired up again. 14-0 BC. Early going in the second quarter. Chris Cotter, Mark Hertzlich, Jalen Johnson with you. The start of the 2021 season here on the ACC Network this weekend. It's been fantastic so far. Looking forward to having it continue all the way through Labor Day. We mentioned this 51-yard strike. Here's how it happened. It's our marathon drive recap, Mark, and it was a nice pitch and catch. How did Berry get so wide open?
Yeah, it came off the play-action pass. Berry just snuck right behind the linebackers and was wide open. Phil Jurkovec saw him. That was his #1 read on the play. He got the ball to Trey Berry, who made a fantastic run downfield. Really good job by Boston College. Fantastic pickup, and this is what Frank Signetti wants. Pairing the play action with the run. You saw the run early in the drive, then the play action for a touchdown.
Raiders have played a nice first half. They just haven't been able to put any points on the board, and they won on that play. Donovan Ezeraku, true freshman defensive end. Wow, just came crashing in off of his end spot and put the boom on Casa Major.
Gosh, and look at him right there. I mean, he looks like an athlete. This is a true freshman. He's got to be 18 years old. 6'2", 240, came off the edge, lightning fast, beat the pulling guard, and made a great play in the backfield. He could be the future at defensive end on the other side of Sheeta Salah.
Doki in motion. Fake to him, Brenneman to throw. Over the middle, looking for his tight end, and just off the tip of his hands. Graham Mobley was patrolling the middle of the field there, and it just sailed right over his fingertips, and then receiver couldn't bring it down.
Yeah, watch IGM. Isaiah Graham Mobley, number 19. He understands it's play action, and he has to cover the middle of the field. He understands where the receivers are, where his threats could come from. He looks right to him, makes a fantastic play. Almost got his hand on that ball. But that's what Boston College needs out of that middle linebacker position. Someone who can command the defense and cover that middle of the field.
Josh Zott's a tall receiver too, 6'3" for Colgate, so you need someone that can go up and alter that play, which Graham Mobley did. Now 3rd and 13, pressure up the middle. Brenneman has to get rid of it to his tailback. Nice run near the first down marker. What a heck of an individual effort by Max Hurlman. I think he's going to come up about maybe 2 feet short, Mark, but great effort by Hurlman alone just to make it a play.
And fantastic play call by Brent Basham, the offensive coordinator. He understood the situation. He goes 3rd and long. We saw what number 11 is going to do. We saw what number 6 is going to do. They are going to rush the passer. Let's throw a screen in behind them. Really good job. And then a great run after catch by Max Hurlman, refusing to go down.
So Coach DeCoste and his staff will have a chance to think this one over if there is something to think over here. You're down 14, you're on the road. It is only the second quarter, and they will measure, although it seems that it's pretty clear that it's going to be short.
Yeah, I think they should go for this one. I mean, you're playing a Power 5 school. You're still in this ball game. You got maybe half a yard to go. I'm keeping the ball in Grant Brenneman's hands, maybe running a little zone read, try to pick up that first down.
So it will be 4th down, and to your point, Mark, about a half a yard, maybe even a little bit less. Coach Hafley, defensive coach at heart. A lot of years in the NFL, Niners, Bucks, Browns as a secondary coach. Then a short stint at Ohio State as co-defensive coordinator before coming here prior to last year.
Well, DeCosta's going to send out his punt unit, but you got to be aware for any hard counts on that defense. You can get an easy first down with someone jumping off sides.
First 3 and out if they do indeed punt, forced by this Boston College defense.
Colgate players pointing, try to draw them off sides.
Pruitt initially fumbled the snap, but has enough time to get it away, but not a great punt. Levy makes the fair catch at his own 41, and we'll have a chance to see this Boston College offense led by Phil Dracovic once again when we come back. Already up 14-0 here in the second. Eagles up 14 here early second quarter. You know, during the week as we were preparing for the game, we learned of a really inspiring story involving a Colgate player. Jalen Johnson has more on that story. Jalen?
Yeah, guys, Colgate is without one of its biggest contributors today, junior defensive back Arthur Hamlin. Back in June, he was diagnosed with Hodgkin's lymphoma, so he is back home out for this season. Now, when I talked to him yesterday, he said he's in high spirits. He's halfway through his treatment and can't wait to get back to his team. So they are honoring him by wearing his initials and his number on the back of their warm-up jerseys all season.
Yeah, it's great stuff, Jalen, and I do understand he's still following this team so closely at home watching right now, so a tip of the cap to you, Arthur, as you continue to battle cancer at home in Canada. Pop pass here for Boston College. That was Xavier Coleman, first time to see the true freshman running back. There's Arthur on the right. Enjoying what he's seen so far from this Colgate defense, the fact that they're hanging in here in this game, and a team that was 0-2 in the spring, 4-8 back in 2019, so it's been a while since they've enjoyed success, and they enjoyed a nice real decade of success. They won 10 games in 2018.
Yeah, they sure did. And, they won the Patriot League. They went far in the playoffs, and they're trying to get back to that. And if this is any indication of what they can do on the football field, Arthur's got to be proud of his guys. They've been playing well
for the snap
so far in this game against Boston College.
Timeout for BC at the 8:34 mark here in the second quarter. We'll take it with him when we come back. Eagles on offense, up 14 here early. Let's answer our Aflac trivia question on the day. There you see Coach Hafley there, and really good first season at BC, 6-5. What coach holds the record for the best 2-year start in Boston College history? Mark?
Jeff Jagodzinski, my coach, came in my sophomore year, 2007 season. 2007, 2008, Boston College went to back-to-back ACC championship games. He got 11 wins in that first season with Matt Ryan. Pretty good quarterback to come into to coach.
No question. Hafley has one here. And Phil Dracovic facing a 2nd down and 3 near midfield. Flowers in motion. Gonna get it out to him. What can he do on his own? He's got blockers in front, crashes into one. Stays on his feet and picks up a first down.
It's a good play call by Boston College offensively. Right now, Colgate, they're playing zone, so they're having everybody stay on the same side of the field, so overloading one side is going to be to Boston College's benefit.
Sinkfield. Nowhere to go as Colgate does a nice job bottling up at the point of attack.
And a little concerning watching Boston College offensively not being able to handle this defensive line for Colgate. This offensive line is supposed to be dominant. Haven't broken these big runs as of yet.
And they're moving quickly. Another play action. Kovic going deep. He's got Flowers in the end zone, and he makes the catch. 38 yards. Every time number 4 has touched the football today, it's been a big play.
Zay Flowers is smelling the roses, baby, in the end zone once again. And he went up top and came down with that ball. Pretty good coverage on the outside.
That was William Gruber, who also was shaken up a little bit on the play, Mark.
It was, yeah, and it was good coverage. Zay just made a play on the football, and that's what Jurkovec relies on is, let me throw it up to my wide receiver, who's not that big, only 5'10", but he can leap out the building.
Here's Gruber now as the Colgate staff is looking at their all-conference, two-time all-conference cornerback William Gruber.
And here's Zay on the left side of your screen. Does a little double move on the safety, and then the ball just leads him out in front. You see the little double move right there. That is what Zay Flowers is so good at doing at the top of his route, just making that burst. Is able to get in the end zone for a big score. Gruber being helped off the field now by the training staff. Let's hope he's all right.
Yeah, and that's a big loss for Colgate, too, as they're breaking in 2 new starters at the safety positions here in the secondary, and they're really relying on Hurd and Gruber. They're 2 corners, both all Patriot League. And Gruber will go right to the locker room here with 7:42 left in the first half for further evaluation. Longman on for the PAT for BC. Clangs it off the upright, no good. Explosive plays for Boston College have staked into this 20-0 lead here in the second quarter at home.
Zay Flowers gets the ball in the end zone. Oh! Danny Longman. I'm not going to call him Danny Doink, but Danny Longman doinked it off the... Oh, Zay Flowers can't believe it. It could have been 7. He said, it's okay. We'll get more.
Zay Flowers already enjoying his 4th career 100-yard receiving game. 4 catches, 101 yards, and a touchdown. That's as advertised right there.
It is, and you see him playing it up to the crowd. He's got them in his back pocket. Tell you what, Chris, he's almost as good at playing to the crowd as I was in my playing days. He's right up there.
A little bit different, though. Herzlich told me the story earlier this week about how when he came running out of the tunnel as a player, he was looking for someone on the other side to kill.
Yes.
I mean, you're already trying to identify a guy over there that you were going to go after.
I was. Well, that's the dysfunctional mindset of a inside linebacker sometimes, but Zay is a little more cheery. And I have matured and grown, so don't worry, I'm locked in the booth now.
You wouldn't want any of your, if you were a coach, you wouldn't want to have an inside linebacker that wasn't taking the field in eye black, that wasn't looking for someone on the other side, right?
No, well, look at Blaine Briggs for Colgate. He's got that same eye black I used to rock. Love it. Love it.
Double whammy for Boston College in the kicking game, stoinking it off the upright on the PAT and then kicking it out of bounds.
And Aaron Boumeri, who was the kicker last year, he's not dressed today. Danny Longman is taking over the duties, who's very capable.
Brenneman now going to keep himself on the draw play. Eludes 1 tackler. Falls forward for a gain of 3. For all the things that Colgate has done well on both sides of the football, Mark, but even offensively, the one thing they haven't done is be able to put any points on the board.
No, they haven't been able to put points on the board. And Boston College, defensively has done their part. Colgate hasn't even gotten inside the 25-yard line, so they've done their part. It just hasn't looked as dominant as maybe people thought it would early on.
Brenneman again on the draw. Eludes a tackler, gets close to midfield, give him a first down. Ty Clemens, the true freshman out of Decatur, Alabama, getting some playing time today and frustrated that he couldn't make the tackle in the backfield. Look at number 90.
Yeah, and Boston College fans, understand, look, we have a 20-0 lead right now. If Grant Brenneman does that for 10 yards, we'll probably be okay. But if anyone watched Braxton Burmeister for Virginia Tech play last night, I mean, if you give a quarterback like Braxton Burmeister that much space to run, he's going to score a touchdown. So Boston College needs to bottle up that quarterback run defensively. Great opportunity to practice that in this game.
Give to Hurlman over the middle, picks up a couple. You think about some of the quarterbacks in the league, whether it's De'Ara King or Brennan Armstrong at Virginia, Sims at Georgia Tech. There are some guys that can run the football.
Yeah, absolutely.
And they'll be tested. Burmeister, you mentioned.
And some of Boston College's worst performances defensively last year were versus a team like a Virginia Tech. It was Hendon Hooker who ran all over him, but same type of quarterback as Braxton Burmeister.
Brenneman on the fake. Here comes the pressure. Barlow giving chase. He gets rid of it, but incomplete. Barlow showing good speed, tracking down Brenneman.
Yeah, really good speed. I've been impressed with these defensive ends. They've understood when they need to set the edge in the run game, and they've understood when to get after the quarterback. And they have their motor going all the time. Vince Ogabasi, the defensive line coach, he's someone that Tem Lukabu, the defensive coordinator, said he is the best defensive line coach in the entire country. And those are no small words, obviously, but he feels very strongly about it and brings up third down. Linebackers up in the line of scrimmage again, showing pressure.
Hurlman in the backfield, flanking Brenneman, 3rd down and 8. The give is to Hurlman. He'll go nowhere, may even lose a yard. Graham Mobley, Sheeta Salah, among a host of Eagles to make the stop.
Great job by Isaiah Graham Mobley, number 19 in the middle of your screen. You see him take on number 68, the center, and push him backwards. Extended his arms, ripped him away from his body, and made a play on the football. IGM transferred in from Temple this past year, along with Chris Banks, defensive tackle. And IGM's making his name felt on this field already today.
Once again, Shelby Pruitt in the kick for Colgate. Levy deep for the Boston College Eagles. Levy will let it bounce, pick it up on the hop. Can he get outside? He does, 30. Still on his feet, good return out to the 39. Flag on the play. Let's check this marker.
Yeah, penalty flag down, and it's in the area of holding. However, Levy did look like he signaled for a fair catch and let it bounce. Which you cannot do, and then pick the ball up and run with it.
During the return, holding receiving team number 33. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Timeout.
It is holding against Boston College. Mike Roach, our referee on the day, giving us the info. BC up 20.
As Boston College takes the field with the football, the fans are singing Mr. Brightside, and Mr. Brightside number 4, Zay Flowers, has been on fire today. 4 receptions, 101 yards, and a touchdown. Watch his hips, watch his shoulders. His shoulders are moved, his hips won't. He is so good at making people miss because he has such good body control. Combine that with his hands and his speed, Zay Flowers, an unbelievable player for this Boston College team, one of the best wide receivers in the country and the ACC.
.442 left to go in this first half. Boston College with another opportunity here after the punt and the holding call against the Eagles. They've moved back now. They'll scrimmage from right about their own 11-yard line. Filjakovic started the game 4 for 4 passing, then went 0 for 4. Kind of a little bit of a rough patch there in the middle, Mark, but since then he's gone 5 for 5, and he's found Zay Flowers for the score.
After further review, number 23, the receiving team
started going back to old reliables. You know, it started up front with Travis Levy, getting a little check down, and then opened it up to Trey Berry, Zay Flowers down the field. And I think Filjakovic has settled in to this offensive system. We'll see if he continues that the rest of this half.
The officials were looking to see if Levy had called for a fair catch before returning that kick, and they determined that that was not the case. Levy. That's Sinkfield, rather. Transfer from West Virginia. Let's take a look at what the officials were looking at there to see if Levy did indeed call a fair catch. What do you think here, Mark?
Yeah, it looks like he was getting ready to call a fair catch right there, but the hand has to go clearly over the head and wave back and forth. There's an actual wave over the head that needs to occur. It did not occur. I think it's a good call by the officials. However, the holding call did back them up anyways.
Sinkfield picked up 3 on first down. Graduate student, transferred in from West Virginia. Young man out of Boynton Beach, Florida. Ran for 436 yards last year in an abbreviated season for West Virginia. There he is, bouncing off defenders and picking up a first down.
Yeah, West Virginia, he was behind Letty Brown. Fantastic running back.
Great play.
Just so good. And I think what Sinkfield wanted, he said, look, I have the ability to make these things happen myself. So let's go to a place like Boston College. He understands that Boston College will throw the ball out of the backfield. Sinkfield is very good at receiving. But one of the things that coaches said that he was not utilized at West Virginia very well is in between the tackles. He's got really strong lower body and got some power to him. We saw him break a couple tackles on that last run.
Dracovic rolls, he'll keep. Picks up 8 yards. Another situation where could have slid, and maybe the coaching staff is saying, look, on that play, maybe slide rather than having a defensive back hit you in the knees.
Yep, they definitely. I wonder if they've gotten to that yet. Right? It's a technique learning how to slide.
Right.
Just ask any quarterback who does not slide well. It's hard to slide. I don't know what I would be like sliding. Boston College going hurry up again. Again, the condensed formation gives a lot of options.
Dracovic rolling, trying to get to that second level, and just throws that one at the feet of Barry, ostensibly throwing it away before getting dumped. That looked like K2 Dickens on the pressure.
Yeah, Dracovic has C.J. Lewis across the middle of the field coming from left to right. He just didn't see him in time and unfortunately had to throw it away for Boston College. But you saw a bunch of the outside zone run to Sinkfield, the outside zone play action, and now the jet sweep out of the same formation.
Defended well by Colgate.
Really well.
Colin Hurd, among a host of others there to bring Flowers down for really no gain, maybe even lost a yard.
Yeah, and a really good tackle by Colin Hurd. He went for those legs. Sometimes it's hard to tackle a guy like Zay Flowers at his feet because he is so quick and shifty. Really good job wrapping it up and forcing a third down and long, putting pressure on Phil Dracovic in this offense to get the ball downfield to a receiver.
Has all kinds of time and a receiver open. That's C.J. Lewis. Inside the 40. Stiff-arming a defender out of bounds at the 35.
So these are crossing routes. From the right side, Zay Flowers is going to go across, and from the left side, C.J. Lewis is coming. So it messes up the flat defenders who are biting down on the underneath routes. Really good job by the offensive line, giving Phil Dracovic enough time to let the routes develop down the field. Hit his target wide open for that first down.
31 yards. BC now back in business inside Colgate territory. Play fake to Levy. Underneath to Lewis again. Stays on his feet, picks up about 10.
Another check down by Phil Dracovic. It was a sail route concept, but they had 3 receivers towards the sideline. Jaden Williams, the young rookie, was a little bit too deep on his route, which congested with Zay Flowers nonetheless. Got the check down. But it's those types of things that as these young players progress, they'll understand where they are on the field, and that play that was a check down will eventually be a 30-yard pass on the sideline.
Now Dracovic getting this true freshman Jaden Williams lined up right on the right side. Looking to his left. Now goes through his progression. Still pointing to his receivers. Tried to get Williams to go to the end zone. And it falls incomplete, but a flag on the play.
Jurkovic's pointing at his receivers. He's looking at young number 80. He said, "You need to go. Go. When I start scrambling,
defense,
you need to either come back to me, give me a target to throw to, or go down deep, give me a place to throw over top."
Holding on Owen Goss.
Correction.
Free safety on the play.
Pass interference on the defense. 15-yard
As
penalty.
Williams was trying to get deep.
Yeah, I didn't see anything on that replay. It must have been before that, as Williams was moving down the field.
This will be a fresh set of downs for BC as they've worked this. They got the ball with about 4.5 minutes left on the clock, Mark, and they've worked the clock to perfection in terms of getting the ball in the red zone now.
Yeah, they have. And this red zone territory, this is when number 3, Trey Berry, the big tight end, could come be a factor in the pass game.
Trying to find Williams, and he does. The official confirms it. Jaden Williams, the true freshman from Pflugerville, Texas, scores his first touchdown as a Boston College Eagle.
And how about that? What great ability by Jaden Williams to keep his confidence high. There were 2 plays on that drive where it looked like he didn't really know what he was supposed to be doing, where he was supposed to be going. And that play, Jurkovic said, "Look, I'm just going to throw you up the ball in the corner of the end zone. You go do what you've done since 4th grade. Go make a big play catch for a touchdown." That's exactly what Jaden Williams did, and you see why the coaches are so excited about him. They'll clean up those mental things. He has the ability to make plays like that in the end zone, score touchdowns for Boston College.
Longman with the try, and it's good. 27-0 BC.
Let's watch Jaden Williams' route. Really good move to get outside. You need to have an outside release on the fade route. Good job of high pointing the football and pulling it into his body. This is a well-contested throw, well-contested catch. Really good reception by Jaden Williams.
Coach Hafley said Williams coming out of Pflugerville, Texas, that's spread country right there.
Yeah.
So many kids go to TCU and Houston and all those schools from Pflugerville. And he said Williams wasn't highly recruited, and it wasn't until Utah made him the offer that Hafley said our staff really amped up the pressure, and we really wanted him at that point, and they got him.
Yeah, Jaden Williams, he was a 2-sport athlete in high school. He was a fantastic basketball player as well, and he was getting some recruiting on the basketball side. He chose football, and they were very, very excited about getting him at Boston College. And Chris, when you asked him about that, like, Texas Tech, all those things, they said, "I'm just so glad they didn't even ask him because he came up here to us."
Well, you're seeing these receivers, Lewis, Williams, Flowers. Jalen Gill isn't even suited up today. The young man who transferred in before last season from Ohio State, still nursing a foot injury. As Spencer with the fair catch, 25-yard line. That's where Colgate will scrimmage. Don't forget, coming up at 4 Eastern here on the ACC Network, Week 1 continues. UMass and Pitt. Then at 7:30, it's Northern Illinois taking on Georgia Tech in our ACC Network primetime matchup, all presented by Geico. And, of course, both games, as always, can be seen on the ESPN app.
Yeah, and that UMass Pitt game, that's one Boston College fans should tune into. That Boston College will play UMass next week. Get a good glimpse of what they're going to face. And then Pittsburgh, with Kenny Pickett coming back at quarterback, they have a team that I think has a bad taste in their mouth, Chris. They had high expectations for last year. They were not met. And a lot of those guys that could have left came back to prove what they're made of in the ACC.
Minute 20 left to go in this first half. Can Colgate put something together? They're going to try on the ground first. And a pickup of maybe 5 yards. John Cox on the carry.
Yeah, John Cox had a really good jump cut right at the line of scrimmage. Almost had the ball ripped away from him, but held on tight with one hand.
And that scenario that you just painted is probably why Coach DeCoste is going to be very cautious here going into this first half. At the end of this first half, doesn't want to put the ball on the carpet and give BC another shot. He's seen how explosive they can be offensively. 1-2 plays, it could be back in the end zone again.
Yeah, it could be. And you saw that run play. A lot of times in the 2-minute drill, you get the run play first and then a pass play. If this is a run, he's happy with going into halftime at this score.
Cox again, a little more the bowling ball kind of back. Picking up 4 more. It'll be 3rd down and a yard.
Stan DeCoste has got to be pleased with how his team has performed in this football game. Obviously, you look at the scoreboard right now, 27-0. However, his team has put drives together offensively and defensively. For the most part, around the line of scrimmage, they have kept Boston College in check. Now, they've struggled as letting the ball get behind them. But I think good overall half for Colgate, and Boston College in that second quarter really, they took the handcuffs off and they let it fly.
Our first half has come to an end here in Chestnut Hill. BC scored on their opening drive and scored on their last drive of that first half. In between a couple of other scores, we got what we expected to get. Phil Dracovic looked sharp. At times looked unbelievably sharp. Zay Flowers was remarkable. Over 100 yards receiving already in a touchdown for him. And we're seeing some of these young receivers, including Jaden Williams.
Yeah, and we've also seen Xavier Coleman at running back. And I mean, just look at the numbers for Phil Dracovic in this first half. 12 for 17 for 245 yards and 3 touchdowns.
Jalen Johnson standing by with Coach Halfley.
Coach, you have had 4 different guys on your offense score. What does that mean to you in this team when you can have so many different options on your offense?
Well, it's kind of what we were hoping for. Spread it out, get everybody their touches, get everybody comfortable. It's the first game. You can tell guys are a little jittery early on, some drops. We just want to get everybody involved. You see how excited they're all getting for each other? That's what makes me so happy right now. They're celebrating together, and it's not just one guy.
On the other side of the ball, you knew your D-line was coming in a little banged up. What are you seeing from them today?
Just guys who are being relentless. You know, you get a few yards here, a few yards there, a first down or so, but, you know, we haven't really given up much. I mean, it's a good football team. They're playing well, doing some good things. Just proud of the way they just keep going.
All right, thank you, Coach.
Thanks,
Chris, back to you guys.
Appreciate it.
Break when we come back. Jordan and the crew in studio. They'll talk about this game and the rest of the day in the ACC. BC up 27-0 at the break. Back to ACC Network Football presented by Subway. We are at the half here at Chestnut Hill, Mass. Fans in attendance, they've enjoyed the first half, and why not? Boston College up 27-0 over Colgate as we get set to start the second half. Mark Hertzlick, Chris Cotter here with you. And Mark, exciting first half. And Boston College did exactly what we thought they would do. They ran the ball a bit, but really Phil Dracovic, it was his arm that led them to this big lead.
Yeah, it was, and he did a really good job of selling the play action fake and throwing the ball deep downfield. It all started with the play action to Trey Berry, the big 6'7" tight end. Hurdled a guy, got in the end zone, and then watch Phil. 50-yard ball on a dime to Zay Flowers in the end zone, and then a little fade to Jaden Williams in the corner of the end zone. Phil Dracovic has worked on his arm angle, his passing. He's completed every single style of pass we've seen today, and 3 touchdowns in the first half. That's a record for him.
Yeah.
He is on fire, and Zay might as well be on fire too. Look at that, 101 yards in the first half.
Our game refresh brought to you by Subway. Both those players hot, so probably a meatball sub then, since you want to get a hot sub instead of a cold sub.
Yeah, 2 meatballs.
Those 2 players and really the entire receiving corps, because you saw Barry, the new tight end, the transfer in. You saw Jaden Williams, the true freshman, scoring a touchdown. And now Colgate with an opportunity here to get something done. And we saw some positive things from the Raiders in that first half. They just weren't able to sustain drives long enough to put points on the board offensively.
Yeah, well, they weren't able to convert on 3rd down. They've had 5 opportunities on 3rd down to convert, and Boston College defense has stopped them every single time. They have picked up first downs on that 2nd down play. They actually lead in time of possession. But you're right, Chris, if Colgate wants to continue their success, especially as they move forward throughout the Patriot League this year, they have to get better on 3rd down completion percentage.
Grant Brenneman back at quarterback for Colgate. Max Hurleman at tailback as they'll scrimmage from their own 25. Oki now on jet sweep. Brought down by Barlow after the gain of about 4. Jalen Johnson had a chance to catch up with Coach DeCoste coming out of the locker room.
Coach DeCoste was very proud of the way his guys have been battling. He said the group that he's most impressed with is the group in the trenches. He said they've been battling up front. He said it's a very confident team. They all love on each other. They believe in themselves. He said he wants to get the run going for them and to stop it on the other side of the ball. So he said they don't feel like they're out of this game right now.
Thank you, Jalen. Hurlman picked up about 4 yards on first down, so a good start in terms of getting the run game going. Brenneman now, nice strike. That's going to be a first down, and we'll move the chains. Miles Bradley on the receiving end.
Yeah, it's just not surprised that Costa used the word battle. He said battle was his team word this offseason. He used the word battle more than anything else because he wants guys that are tough. He said he thought the toughness left this team a little bit the past couple years. He wanted to instill that toughness. He had a hard training camp, and he wanted guys to come out in the field and never quit and to always battle. So no wonder he used that word. Proud of his guys up front.
Hurlman trying to test the outside, brought down. Lose maybe a yard. That looked like Sheeta Salah again protecting that edge.
Yeah, and Josh DeBerry did a great job of triggering from that nickel spot, coming up and making that tackle as well. DeBerry I was really impressed with him last year. He played a lot more corner, really good in coverage, and they've moved him inside to nickelback. They're playing more of this 2 linebacker look this year. And you see DeBerry at the bottom of your screen lined up on the slot receiver, man-to-man.
Second down and 11 for the Raiders. Swing pass to Hurlman. Look out! Oh, you knew he was going to get blown up. You could see that one coming. Jason Maitre read it perfectly and dropped him.
And Josh DeBerry came on a corner pressure from that nickel position. And then look at the closing speed of Jason Maitre, understanding that that's where the blitz was coming from. The ball is probably going to replace the blitz. Let's go downhill and make a play. Huge play by Maitre from that safety spot.
The loss all the way back to the 31, so a third down and 17 now for the Raiders.
And this is not the way to get back on track with third down for the Raiders. Boston College got their rush package in.
Bringing just 4. Bradley on the receiving end. Can he make enough players miss? No, he cannot. Gets back to the original line of scrimmage, but it'll bring up 4th down and 10.
For Tim Lukabu's defense, their confidence level, that was a big stop. Earlier in this game, they've allowed Colgate to kind of stay in, stick around. It was 7-0 for a while in that first quarter. Now the game score-wise is 27-0. A little bit more breathing room. However, you want to get your team used to those 3-and-outs, getting the ball back to your offense. Great job by Boston College defense.
Levy on the receiving end of this punt. Pruitt, that's his best kick of the day, even though it sails out of bounds. Nice catch. Is that Tem who made that catch?
Pretty good catch. Yeah, it was Tim.
Who says defensive players don't have good hands? Not me. 27-0 BC on top. The effects of Hurricane Ida still being felt in the deep south areas of Louisiana, Mississippi, and of course the flooding in the mid-Atlantic and here in the Northeast as well. Thousands affected by this hurricane urgently need your help. Donate at redcross.org/ESPN to help the Red Cross respond to and help people recover from this disaster. It is widespread in so many areas, and Mark, so many players I saw in this game for both BC and for Colgate from New Jersey, from New York, and areas that were really devastated by heavy flooding.
Yeah, our prayers are going to these families of these players, but all these families who are dealing with, loss of homes, loss of just everything that they know and they love, and it's a very tough time for a lot of people, and our thoughts and prayers are going out to them for sure.
Good look at Xavier Coleman here, smaller back, but the true freshman out of, speaking of New Jersey, Willingboro, New Jersey, 3-star cat at a high school coming in. They expect a lot of things out of him, a different dynamic than the other backs that they bring to the table. Yeah,
and they said he has really good vision. You saw some of that vision on that last play. He's a really good zone runner. It's difficult to be a good zone runner so young because you have to be patient enough to let things develop. He apparently has that. We saw that patience on that play. Good cutback. Picked up positive yards, and a third down. Big boy Phil Dracovic is just going to barrel ahead for a quarterback sneak. When we talked to Frank Signetti, he said, that's the design quarterback run. I'll give it to my quarterback on 3rd and 1, 4th and 1. We saw a lot of the design quarterback run aside from that in that first quarter.
Colgate player down on the field. Let's see if we can get a number on this young man. Looks like that might be Connor Meyer, nose tackle. You know, one thing about Dracovic, too, and how much we rarely see in the college game, Mark, a quarterback under center.
Yeah.
And when you're in short yardage situation, the benefit of having a big run quarterback that can get you short yards out of that under center formation is huge.
It is.
We'll check on this Colgate player, Meyer, when we come back. BC up 27-0.
Fired up to meet our new guy here. It's kind of like the 21 class. I never got to see anyone in person. When I saw him, he's way bigger than I thought.
TLC, tough, love, and compete. That's what really epitomizes a BC man and a BC football player. And we see that in you, and we want you to be an Eagle as well.
That is the newest member of the Boston College football team, 14-year-old Jack Giorgio. He's a part of an organization called Team Impact, and they pair kids who are dealing with chronic illnesses with college sports teams across the country. Jack, in 2019, had a brain tumor, and he had to go through over 60 weeks of chemo, and before the game, he was on the field for the national anthem.
That is great. Good story, Mark. I know you know a lot about that program, too.
Oh, yeah. Team Impact's fantastic, and they have great matches with Boston College. Actually, 6 of the teams, including football, obviously with Jack, but women's lacrosse, men's soccer, men, women's ice hockey, and then the swim and diving team. They all have one of these kids who has been signed to their teams, and they had these big signing days, which is what you saw previously with Jeff Hafley in it. But it's just a really good organization, and it makes sure that none of these kids, due to an illness, are left on the sidelines. They're all a part of this team.
Yeah, pretty cool. You saw Jack waving the flag, the national anthem here on the field before today's game, so it's a cool moment. Dracovic under pressure, hit as he releases it, finds Zay on the corner, and he makes the catch. Another big play to Zay Flowers.
Yeah, and you know this throw by Dracovic, it's a good throw. He's throwing it off his back foot to the sideline. However, Zay Flowers makes this play. He sees the ball in the air. He understands where he is on the field, and he does it so effortlessly. I mean, this ball's up there. A receiver that doesn't have as much awareness maybe would have gone out of bounds, maybe wouldn't have caught that ball. But he just has so much confidence and awareness where he is on the field. Fantastic catch.
His big day continues, well over 100 yards receiving, and has that first half touchdown.
I've tried so hard all day not to say big play, big day, Zay, but it's just so easy to say.
I think it's
he is
just
so
the way
good.
It works, right?
Yeah.
Maybe a little frustration on the outside here.
Yeah, he might be small. He's tough. Look at this. Going in for a block, hands inside. One a little bit on the outside.
Colin Hurd, one of the captains of this team, this Colgate team. 2 of them have been battling all day.
I love that there was no flag either, because those were 2 guys just playing football. Good stuff.
Fake to Coleman. Dracovic is looking Zay's way. Instead checks underneath, then finds Taji Johnson. Flag on the play. Let's check the marker, but that's another time we've seen that a few times today where he's tried to go up top to Zay and instead opting to go underneath and finding a receiver for a big gain. That time 24 yards.
Yeah, the flag's in the backfield, in an area of holding call. Probably coming back, but you're right, Chris. Good job about us clearing out the defenders with Zay and letting someone else come in behind. And that's Taji Johnson, one of the bigger guys, 6'3", 220-pounder, but you see on the left side, 78, Tyler Vrabel. Got a little too much bend at his hips, back on his heels, and good job up front by linebacker Jared Petrachik, just pushing back Vrabel and getting the holding call.
Fake to Coleman.
Wide open.
Another flag down. That's coming back. Broken up nicely on the play by Hurd. That's going to be another hold in the backfield.
Yeah, another hold in the backfield. And Bill Dracovic needed to go through his reads just a little bit faster. He had a wide open receiver down the field. And Jelani Galloway will be coming back regardless.
This one might have been Big Ben Petrula on the right side. Colgate declined the call. Bringing up 3rd down and long.
Yeah, 3rd and forever is 3rd and forever, whether it's 3rd and 17 or 3rd and 25.
Raiders and defensive coordinator Paul Schaffner are hoping to get off the field here and bring the offense back on. Let's see what Frank Cignetti has cooked up here for a 3rd and 17.
Colgate's showing pressure. Let's see if they keep running back in the block.
Play fake. Raiders bring 5, plenty of time, and he's got a receiver wide open, and making the catch is C.J. Lewis.
These deep crossing routes have been so effective for Boston College in this game. And it all starts with the line protection up front. You see the tight end chip, the running back chip, and so much time for C.J. Lewis to just run away from his defender. Double team on Zay Flowers, left that wide open for C.J. Lewis. Again, great job off the play action by Dracovic to pick up 3rd and long.
Yeah, 3rd and 19 converted. Levy in the backfield, slips 1 tackle. Out of bounds after a gain of about 7.
And great push by the left side of this offensive line. That's Tyler Vrabel, Zion Johnson, All-American, preseason All-American Zion Johnson. They are pushing that line of scrimmage. They're 5-6 yards downfield with their defenders before Travis Levy even gets to them. And that's the type of road raiders that Boston College expects from this run offense.
Levy just crashes into the line, give him maybe a yard. He's close to that marker.
See big Alec Lindstrom, hands on his hips. He's a funny guy. Alec Lindstrom.
His character.
Affectionately known as Rick by his teammates. Catching his breath right there. His older brother in the NFL, Chris Lindstrom. But it's so good for this offensive line to experience this part of the game, right? This is basically a 4-minute drive for the rest of the game. You want to run out the clock, and it's just run, run, run. These offensive line are going to get some work.
Double tight ends. Dracovic opting to keep it, and the whistle blew. It sounded before, timeout. Hafley was running down there to get the official's attention, called the timeout before Dracovic took the snap.
Jeff Hafley turned around to Frank Cignetti. Said, what's the call? We want Phil Dracovic to go outside. See what they draw when we come back from this break. 3rd and 1, Boston College.
What is up, my dudes? It is Rick here, and it is Review 100. I'm so excited for this.
Who wouldn't be? Rick Lindstrom, BC starting center. Look at him inhale this sandwich.
The pace at which he eats is extraordinary. The mullet, also extraordinary. If you're confused, who is Rick? Rick is Alec Lindstrom. His teammates know him as Rick. And so we might start referring to him as Rick as well. But, and like he does these food reviews, Chris, and we've seen him online. If you haven't seen him, check out his Instagram. I think it's called Rick's Reviews. But he will, like, taste test all these foods. He's gotten into cooking.
Right.
Really eccentric guy. But like, that's what you want out of your offensive line. You want a guy who loves food.
Most centers, though, aren't eccentric, though, right?
No.
Because they're more of cerebral types.
Right. Well, maybe he might be cerebral in these reviews.
And eccentric,
like
right.
Getting the aiolis in there. You never know how sophisticated it
It's
gets.
taste testing, but it doesn't seem like it's in his mouth long enough for him to taste it. I mean, he inhales that stuff.
Or he has weak taste buds because it takes 3 bites for him to get in any review. So
here's Zay with room. Can he make one man miss?
Oh, good tackle.
Good tackle, right.
Wow, I was about to say, that is, as a defender.
Colin Troop coming up to make the stop.
That is one of the scariest positions to be in. As Zay Flowers gets the ball in open field, Colin Troop did a great job coming down, and you talk about just...
That's Jackson Price.
Oh, yeah, Jackson Price at the strong safety position.
He's
you talk
injured.
about taking away the grass and just shooting for your shot. Great job, great tackle.
Yeah, Jackson Price banged up a little bit on the play. They're looking at him over on the Colgate sideline, but a really nice job. There he is, making his first career start at safety today. Coming up at 4 Eastern on ACC Network, week 1 of the college football season continues. UMass taking on Pitt. Pickett is back at quarterback for Pittsburgh. The numbers just keep, it's like a pinball machine with the numbers. Then at 7:30, Northern Illinois, Georgia Tech, and our ACC Network primetime matchup presented by Geico. How about Addison, their freshman receiver from last year, is one of the top receivers. We got a lot of returning quarterbacks who have put up big numbers in their careers, and then we got a lot of receivers, 2 good young receivers that are going to be in this league for a while. Yeah, you're exactly right, and then you look at the running backs too. I mean, Georgia Tech, Jahmyr Gibbs, he's a guy. Phenomenal. You watch him run; he runs angry. The ACC. Some of these teams that we haven't expected much over the past couple years have really found their rhythm, understand who they are. I really thought Pickett would go pro. I did too. I thought he was going to the NFL, so to have him back is a real boon for the league. Maybe not for defensive coordinators in the league, but for us as fans of the league, it's great. Oh, it's great. And he has so much experience around him too. Some young guys who, as you mentioned, are very explosive on the outside. And that defense, Pittsburgh's defense, they are always so good at getting to the quarterback. Wayne Briggs on the stop. These inside linebackers, Briggs and Brosh, have been active today for Colgate. So it'll bring up a 3rd down here, 3rd down and 4, so they can pick up a 1st down inside the 3, can BC. Yeah, we call this defensively a 4-point play. You stop them here, they don't get a 1st down. They have to settle for a field goal rather than getting a touchdown, thus saving your team 4 points. They've converted all 3 of their 3rd downs on this drive so far. Can they make it a perfect 4? Jakovic just too low for Zay Flowers to handle. He's going to look at him. He's saying just a little bit higher, Phil, and I got another touchdown. I know, and they have such a good relationship that Zay saying a little higher isn't him dissing his quarterback. He's just saying, look, this is what we got to get. Get the ball a little bit higher. He's also upset with himself too because could have got. Maybe he's saying it to himself. Pick that up off the carpet, Zay. Yeah. Either way, that's a play that should be made by those 2. They have the capability and the effectiveness to do that. It has to be made and completed, and not going to affect this game, but will affect the game down the road if they can't clean that up. Danny Longman converts the field goal. Aaron Boumeri not dressed today, so Longman getting the call and making the most of his opportunity to put some points on the board. 3 more for the Eagles. They extend their lead 30-0. Talked about Pickett coming back for BC. Multi-talented Kenny Pickett, trick shot artist. This stuff just blows my mind. Yeah, I'm always thinking there's got to be some camera trick happening. Right. That's Morrissey, his center from last year too, who's no longer there. He was just sitting in the stands. Have you ever tried to throw in a football sitting down? There's a lot of trust between quarterback and center, so when you got that cone on your head and your quarterback's trying to knock it off, there's definitely showing the trust there. I want to see the 3 takes before that where you hit him right in the face. And Jimmy Morrissey just stood there and took it. But you look at this, 5th in Pittsburgh history with almost 8,000 passing yards. That is amongst some really fantastic quarterbacks, too, that have come through Pitt. We'll have a chance to add on to that following us here on the ACC Network. UMass and Pitt, Northern Illinois, Georgia Tech, our nightcap. Boston College with the arm swing get-off. With new uniforms, too. What do you think about the new uniforms? Are awesome. Chris, they're getting close to the top of the ACC in terms of uniforms. I think very simple, too. They've kind of lost some of the striping this year, so just keeping it very simple. The white pants, the red jerseys, the big numbers, big white numbers. Limited the striping. No helmet stripe anymore. It's sort of that matte gold. Mm-hmm. You know what's fun, too? I talked to Pat Kraft this offseason as he was getting ready to show out these new uniforms, and he designed them. He basically said, look, this is what I like them to be. As the new athletic director here at this school, he said these things look clean, they look sharp, it looks kind of old school football. I like them too. So Grant Brenneman trying to get some points on the board for this Raider team. Quick strike on the outside. Good first pass to get things going to Joshua Zott. Pick up a 6 on 1st down. Colgate takes on Stony Brook next week. Even with this score, Mark, 30-0, I think there's certainly some things that Coach DeCoste and his staff and his players can build on coming out of this game.
Yeah, they've definitely been effective in the run game. They've been good up front. I think the offensive line has played well together. We talked about them. They've returned 4 guys from last year. So that's something they can definitely build off. A flag down, looks like a face mask.
Could be Hurleman on the run, picked up the first down on his own. We may get some yardage tagged on to the end of it.
Personal foul, face mask.
Personal foul, face
Defense
mask.
number 99. A 15-yard penalty to be added to the end of the run.
See
First
where
down.
the infraction occurred. Hurleman did a nice job of setting up the defender here and bouncing it outside, and then right at the end.
Yeah, that looks like number 99, big TJ Ram. Just got a hold of that face mask on the way down.
So positive start to this drive for Colgate. Brenneman to throw. Nope. Now on the draw, design quarterback draw. Give him 3. Barlow on the stop.
This play does not look like much, but 3 yards on first down, that's a win for the offense. You get 3 yards on first down, 3 yards on second down, and you're left with a third and really convertible 4 yards for that third down, try to get a first down. And so again, as we look at this team right now, Colgate offensively, those 3-yard gains versus Boston College, those will be 5-yard gains in the Patriot League when they go back and play in their league. A lot of stuff to build on for Stan DeCoste in this Colgate offense.
Brenneman forced out of the pocket, now rolling to his right. Hits his fullback / tight end, William Parker, coming into this game with just 1 career reception, so doubling that.
Yeah, William Parker, he's a good player, and his dad was a great player. Glenn Parker, 13 seasons in the NFL, and how about this, Chris? He played in 5 Super Bowls. He played 4 with the Buffalo Bills.
Wow.
And guess what? He lost all 4 of those. But then he went to the New York Giants and he won a Super Bowl ring with Big Blue.
That's the key right there to eventually finally get that ring.
Switch teams.
So many Bills did not get that ring. Jet sweep. That looked like Josh Sott. Josh Sott they got some big receivers here. Sott is 6'3", 200.
Yeah.
Ryan CK, you haven't seen in this game, 6'4", 215.
Yeah, and Sott is obviously multi-dimensional too. You're kind of a jump ball guy, but he can run the jet sweep, the reverse.
Picking up the first down. As we tick down to the final minute of this third quarter. Colgate fans hoping they can put some points on the board. Get some positive work in here in the final quarter plus of this game. Brenneman high snap, keeps it himself, gets a nice block on the edge, and then is met. Vinny DePalma. Oh boy.
Wow. Vinny DePalma, he's a little bit like that bowling ball we saw too. He was injured last year, had an Achilles injury. He was talking to the media this week. He said, I just can't wait to get back on the field. He lifted Brenneman off the ground before he put him down.
Brenneman got that nice kick out block, and then he met DePalma right in the hole. Still, though, to your point, good 5-6 yards on first down.
Yeah.
Sets them up to be able to have the whole playbook out in front of them. Brenneman has time, going to the end zone. Good coverage on the play. Josh DeBerry out there covering Miles Bradley.
Yeah, just in terms of Colgate's confidence, like this drive, 8 plays, 49 yards. They're getting down close to red zone territory, their first time inside the 30-yard line. And this is late in the game, and Boston College's starting defense is still out there. And this has got to give confidence to this Colgate team and their fans as they move forward. And now Boston College on third down, they've been so effective so far this game on third down, stopping Brenneman. Let's see if they can get to the quarterback again by just rushing 4.
Brenneman going to the end zone, ball up for grabs and intercepted. Mike Palmer on the tip, corrals it, and the turnover gives the football back to BC.
Great play by Mike Palmer, the free safety. 6th-year guy, came back for a fantastic career here at Boston College. What a way to start off this season. Interception in the end zone. Get the ball back to his team when we come back.
Fall is for field hockey on the ACC network. Sunday specifically. Herslick, I know you loved women's lacrosse in the spring. It was a huge season, one of the greatest seasons ever in the sport. Look at the ACC teams and the numbers to the left.
Oh, my God.
The ACC is dominant in field hockey. Virginia and Towson tomorrow. Starts it off at noon, so check out those 2 games.
Yeah, I'm a big field hockey fan, too. My mom used to coach college field hockey growing up, so I was around that sport a lot.
Djokovic still in the game here to start the 4th quarter, up 30-0. You surprised at that?
A little surprised. However, I don't think they're going to put him in any risky situations. I think they have so much confidence in this offensive line. This is more conditioning than anything. You only get these guys for so many hours during the summer, and game speed is different regardless of the opponent, regardless of the score. So I think the coaches want Phil in his 2nd year with this offense to understand what it feels like to play a whole game before they have their real first competition, maybe against Temple, maybe against Missouri, who knows. But I wouldn't expect to see him play the whole game versus UMass if the score is similar next week.
Pat Garwo now getting some run at tailback for Boston College, a little bit more of a heavier back. He's more of the low center of gravity, a little bit of a bigger back. Banged up really last year and during the offseason, but glad to have him in the fold if you're a BC fan to complement Levy and Sinkfield. Then the smaller Xavier Coleman, and then Garwo is a little bit more of a lower center of gravity, a bigger back.
Yeah, and we're nitpicking here because all of them are like 5'7", 5'8", 5'9", all of them around 200 pounds. It's just their style of running. You see how Garwo is really good at being shifty between the tackles. He's not going to break away speed like maybe a Sinkfield or a Coleman will, but he hits that hole hard and powerful. And so it's really good to kind of have that 1-2 punch of the patient runner and the real downhill runner. Just switches up the style of play for the D-line and linebackers.
You see Vrabel there, Tyler Vrabel on the left, back at his traditional left tackle spot. Was injured much of last year, and so he's playing a little out of position, but you move him to left tackle. Zion Johnson now at left guard, the road grader next to him. And this offensive line's getting a good workout today. Djokovic's going to go deep. Flowers again.
Oh, man, that was very close to pass interference.
But Owen Goss is going to get the congratulations of his teammates.
Yeah, and Owen Goss, good job recovering, getting back. Let's see if he turns his head at all. Now, that's pass interference. He gets his hands on Zay Flowers before the ball gets there, never looks back, tries to make a play on the ball. So got away with one there, but maybe a no call is the only thing that can stop Zay Flowers.
To Zay's credit, didn't say anything to the officials.
Nope.
Just ran back to the huddle, looking for his next opportunity. Djokovic keeps getting a great block on the outside.
Wow.
30. Flag down inside the 10 and out of bounds. They may get freshman Jaden Williams for a hole. He's shrugging his shoulders like, I had a great block downfield.
Absolutely not a hole. Wow, I got to see the replay, though. But from watching it live, it looked to me like a great block from the true freshman wide receiver on the outside.
There is no foul on the play for offensive holding.
No flag on the play.
Yeah, they picked it up. The BC coaching staff was livid on the sideline when that flag came in. Take another look.
And this type of stuff makes me so excited for a young player. Number 80, he caught a touchdown pass. He's a guy that's explosive in the pass game, but if he can make a block downfield like that, running, pushing his guy downfield, you saw him get his hands inside the jersey and push. There was no hold, no restriction. Good job picking up the flag by the officials, but it gets me fired up seeing a young wide receiver blocking downfield for his quarterback.
40 yards for Jurkovec on the run. 1st and 10 now from the 12. Flowers in motion, near side. Fake to Garwo, looking to get it to Flowers in the flat. He does. Makes one man miss. Can he find the pylon? No, but he picks up a first down or close to it. He's right at the marker, and if he picks it up, it's 1st and goal from the 2.
And so the next step in Phil Jurkovec's progression as a quarterback is going to be getting the ball to Zay Flowers sooner on that play. Just a few steps sooner gives Zay Flowers the ball in his hands with no defenders around him. Just the fact that he held it for one extra step and then got the ball out allowed Trevor Thompson, the linebacker, to just get a hand on the foot of Zay Flowers, and that's that next progression. They'll watch that in film, and Phil will say, yep, I could have gotten there a second earlier, and that could have resulted in a touchdown.
Garwo takes the handoff, pounds into the end zone for a score.
There's Pat Kraft right there cheering on his offense. Talking to Pat Kraft, he is an athletic director. He is a fan of all the sports. He's done big changes and remodels to this Boston College organization. But when you talk to him, he is a football guy at heart. He loves seeing his teams, his Eagles, score touchdowns.
Longman buries the PAT. BC was 6-5 in Jeff Hafley's first season last year, looking to go better in 2021. They're off to a good start today. Zay Flowers has had an unbelievable day. We all expected it. 7 catches, 135 yards, and a touchdown. He's done it in a variety of ways, too.
Yeah, he has. They've given it to him on screen passes. They've handed the ball on jet sweeps. He's gotten the deep pass going. And Zay Flowers has played this entire game with a drive and a purpose. He's found the end zone one time, but more so, it's all the things that he has done with the ball in his hands and with the ball out of his hands, setting up other receivers to make big plays underneath with drawing the coverage back. Fantastic day. MVP of the game, Zay Flowers.
Steven Ruiz kicking off to Jake Spencer. Spencer takes it out to the 23-yard line. Our MVP of the game. It's brought to you by Sports Clips. There he is, Zay Flowers. You could have given it to Phil Jurkovec, too, who also, by the way, has 61 yards on the ground. But Zay Flowers, especially given the fact that Jalen Gill, the number 2 receiver from last year, is not suited up today, a little bit more pressure on Zay Flowers, and he is just going to produce game in, game out.
Do you even think Zay Flowers understands what pressure is, Chris? We've had chances to talk with him. I mean, he is probably one of the most positive guys. He's so energetic all the time. I honestly feel like pressure doesn't get to him. He just says, okay, I'm going to go out and play football. And I think you made a great point a couple drives ago where there was no pass interference called. And he just turned around, walked back to the huddle, and said, I'll make another play. And that's maturity.
Ball picked off. Speaking of plays, this one's going to go for a score. Jamin Moose. Thank you very much.
Yeah, Jamin Moose was saying, Mr. Herzlich, stop talking. You're talking too much about Zay Flowers. What about our defense? And first turnover of the game for BC's defense. And Jamin Muse, who was in that battle for that strong safety position with Jaden Woodby, who transferred in, makes a huge play off a tip. Runs it into the end zone.
He was the leading interceptor last year, 3 interceptions for this BC team. And talking about this secondary, you and I have done a ton of Boston College games since the beginning of the ACC network, probably more than any other team we followed. I feel like we're family with this secondary.
Oh, I know.
We've grown up with these guys, whether it's Moose, whether it's Maitrey, whether it's Palmer, whether it's Sebastian.
Yeah, and now they got the young guys too. C.J. Burton, Sean Asbury are going to be the next step, but Jamin Muse takes it back for this touchdown. Boston College scores defensively this time.
ACC Network Football is presented by the Eat Fresh Refresh at Subway.
Today marks the 11th anniversary of my partner's return to the field. There he is, 94, coming out of the tunnel after kicking cancer's butt 11 years ago today, and they honored you with a standing ovation earlier on. What a great day.
Yeah, it was such a good day. And, it's special. September 4th, back 2010, that's when my first game back versus Weber State, and I remember before I was diagnosed, I had to walk back from the tee around the reservoir, and my pain was so bad. My leg hurt so much, and so this morning, on the 11th anniversary of my return, I got up at 5 a.m. and I ran around that dang reservoir.
That's great.
Letting that bad boy know that I'm back. I was back, and man, it just feels so good. And it reminds me, thinking about Arthur, the Colgate player who's back home in Ontario right now, watching this game, who's away from his team. If my story can help him at all, just see that, look, you can get back on this field, you can do it again. I just wanted to shout out to Arthur and tell him that I'm thinking about him and praying for him that he can have that experience of coming back and joining his team as well. So what a fantastic day, and I felt very honored to be honored here at Boston College.
Here in the fourth quarter, Colgate now trying to make something happen. They've made a quarterback change. Harry Kirk, the sophomore from Lancaster, PA, now at the helm for the Raiders. There's a good look at Kirk. I can't tell what he's got working under the helmet, but if the flow on the backside is any indication, he's got some great hair.
Great hair, regardless.
Right.
Just that is better than I got right now.
There are some pictures around the athletic complex here at Boston College, though, of your playing days. Full head of curls.
Oh, boy. Those curls were out and about, that is for sure. And on a nice day like today with no humidity, it would have been fine. But
right, the wind would have been sailing through those curls.
Those humid days, boy, that hair went out of control.
Here's Kirk.
Yeah, Harry Kirk's a guy that they're high on, too, and he's going to take over after Grant Brenneman leaves the school after this year, as he'll graduate and move on. But Harry Kirk, 4,800 yards passing in high school, 43 touchdowns through the air, 14 touchdowns on the ground. I mean, he's a real player.
Pressure coming up the middle, tries to dump it off. And a nice job defensively. That was Sean Asbury. We are getting to see some true freshmen for Boston College playing on the defensive side. We've seen Sean Asbury, we've seen Donovan Ezeraku. Haven't seen Bryce Steele yet. He's this linebacker they're really high on. He's in the game right now, number 2.
Well, we had our meeting with Jeff Hafley yesterday, and Jeff Hafley knows that I played linebacker here, and you look around the stadium, you see Luke Kuechly on the billboards, Pete Cronin, all these big guys. And he looked at me and said, that guy Bryce Steele, he could be the best linebacker to ever play here at Boston College. And so there's some high praise for him.
Kobe White returning this punt. Good to see number 7 in the game for BC. Didn't play last year because of an injury, so getting some time. Tonight after Northern Illinois, Georgia Tech. Join the quartet, Jordan Cornette, E.J. Manuel, Mark Richt, and my dude, Eric McLean. Complete breakdowns of all 7 ACC games today. It's The Huddle on the ACC Network and live on the ESPN app. Mac Lane's looking forward to this game tonight.
Yeah.
Georgia and Clemson. Who isn't?
We've had this game circled on, everybody has. Every college football fans had this circled on the calendar since it was announced. Pretty fantastic. You saw some of those great jersey numbers up there on the wall, including number 40, Luke Kuechly.
Dennis Grosel now in the game for Boston College. It's Jelani Galloway, pickup of about 10 yards. What a luxury, by the way, to have a guy like Dennis Grosel as a backup quarterback in this league. Let's not forget he threw for over 500 yards in the Virginia game last year.
Oh, my goodness. How about that? Bill Dracovic has an injury last year, and then, Dennis Grosel, we know what he can do a little bit, but then he comes out with a 500-yard performance. 6 touchdowns. It was the best performance by a Boston College quarterback maybe ever. It was fantastic.
I thought I was an old undergraduate student, too, when I was on the 5.5-year plan. Grosel, I think, has been here forever. Blaine Briggs is down on the play. That's a tough break for Colgate. He's actually played a heck of a game at that middle linebacker spot.
He really has. That whole linebacker core for Colgate, very impressed.
We'll take a break when we check on Blaine Briggs when we come back. Earlier in this game, Jamin Moose with his pick 6, his 5th career interception. For more on him, let's send it down to Jalen Johnson.
Yeah, when he got that interception, he's pointed to his right side. His entire family was literally standing right there, leaning over the rails. They have shirts on with his face on it. I think they planned it out. It was the perfect timing and really special moment.
Yeah, that is great. He's right there. You're right, Jalen, right in that front row, that section. So it's great to have him and his family there.
Great shot by our camera guys. Getting that point right at his family. So great for these players to have their families back in the stands. That over there by that end zone is where all the Boston College families always sit. They always have sat there. I remember looking up in those stands, trying to find my family. Just, we talked to Jeff Hafley, and he talks about this family mentality with this team, and part of it was getting the parents and getting the brothers and sisters here to watch the guys play. So great to see Jamin Moose get that interception and acknowledge the fact that they're here.
Fake the stare out to White. Now he's got room. Makes a man miss in another one. Inside the 40, 35. Dragged down to the 32 by Tyler Flick. Not before a big gain, 25 yards.
And how great is it to see Kobe White back on the field. Leading receiver for Boston College 2018. 2019 had a great year, got injured his knee in training camp 2020, and now he's back on the field and producing for Boston College. Great to see him back. Another guy who's, I think, in his 6th or
been around a while.
9th year with Boston College.
Fake the stare, now Grossell. Gets a tight end. It's Brandon Smith.
Yeah, Brandon Smith actually had a huge spring game.
Yeah, I remember
Chris,
that, you're right.
We called that spring game, and he had 4 or 5 catches and was very productive. Another guy who's making an impact on this team and can be a really good outlet in the receiving game.
Pitt and UMass coming up following us. Midway point of this 4th quarter. Rossell looking to throw. Has time. Now flushed out of the pocket. He'll have to use his legs to get what he can. Woo! Stays in bounds inside the 20 and down to the 16.
Yeah. Wow.
Well, that's also another one where you probably want him to go down here, right?
That's the okey doke. He gave him a little okey doke. He knew what he was doing.
I guess that's your backup quarterback. You're up 47-0.
You get it. You hate it when you're a defensive player and you fall for the pump fake when he's 10 yards downfield. I've done that before. It doesn't feel good.
Give to Stare. Through the hole, picks up about 5 or 6. Give him maybe 7 on the play. Peter Stare. Hafley getting some of his players some run here in the 4th quarter with the big lead.
Yeah, big one that a lot of these Boston College fans are watching is Drew Kendall. He's the #1 player in Massachusetts, number 66. Backup center. He's a guy that they're really high on, and when Alec Lindstrom leaves for the NFL, assuming it's after this season,
he will try to get it to.
Yeah, he'll be the guy.
Yeah, trying to get it to Kobe. Owen Goss was there, defending on it. Nice job by extending this play, though, by Grossell.
Yeah, I've been impressed with Grossell. I mean, he is commanding this offense like it's his own. And when we talk to the coaches, they say like Dennis Grossell knows the playbook almost better than Frank Signetti, the offensive coordinator who implemented this playbook. I mean, he's just that type of guy that, you know, you mentioned it, wanting him to slide. Yes, you want him to slide because he is that good as a backup where he can operate the offense, maybe not as effectively as Dracovic, but he can make the plays necessary and make good decisions with the football, as we just saw there.
Here on third down, going to the corner. And defended well, too well, unfortunately, with the flag coming down at the end. Tried to hit Jelani Galloway, but Colin Troop was there and just got there a little too early.
Pass interference, defense number 7. Ball be placed at the 2-yard line. First down.
First and goal for Grossell. Coach Hafley also talked about a moment against Clemson last year when he had to put Grossell in a third down play, and
it's a fourth down play.
Fourth down, right?
Yeah.
Wasn't afraid to have him throw a pass right off the bench.
And if you remember, I mean, that Clemson game, Boston College was leading at half. I mean, they were right there in it, and Dennis Grossell went in, and Jeff Hafley said, throw the ball with him, because he had that much faith in his ability and converted on that fourth down.
Converting on this first down is Stair with the score. Peter Stair extends BC's advantage.
It's all smiles on the sideline. And this is what we it's funny, Jeff. It's funny, I almost called you Jeff. Chris, we talked to Jeff Hafley and said, how are your players going to react when maybe the starters are out, they're on the sideline? He said, I have absolutely no worries. My starters are going to be as much into the game as anyone. You see Jurkovec be the first one giving them high fives as they're running off the field. And Jurkovec absolutely loved it. Watch Stair right up the middle, pounding it into the end zone. And Phil Jurkovec loving his guys as they come off the field.
As the Eagle Band plays on, I want to remind you, coming up after us, UMass and Pitt. That's about a 4 o'clock start. Then at 7:30, Northern Illinois, Georgia Tech, our ACC Network primetime matchup. Presented by Geico. Both these games can be seen on the ESPN app as well. Ruiz kicking off for Boston College. Chance for Spencer here. Nice defensive play on special teams for the Eagles. Also tonight, this game on September 4th. Ooh. Are you kidding me? JT, DJ?
I mean, these two quarterbacks are the real deal. JT Daniels took over the helm about halfway through the season last year for Georgia, and he was on fire. Their third down conversion percentage jumped about 15% when he was at the helm, and then DJ Uiagalelei, watching him play against this Boston College team last year and then also against Notre Dame, he was absolutely fantastic and really good potential for the future. He's that guy. He's that guy down at Clemson, and it's going to be a fantastic game to watch, especially with all the young talent on Clemson's side of the ball. They got Justin Ross coming back, but really other than that, a lot of the guys have left the NFL, but they're just going to replenish like Clemson always does.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see the young players that emerge from that Clemson team, like at the running back spot and the wide receiver spot, complimentary, and then so many good players defensively for young players. That defensive line, remember that defensive line with Wilkins, Christian Wilkins and company a few years back? You thought, there's no way they're ever going to be able to replace those guys, and yet a couple of years down the road, we're still looking at it and saying, yeah, they still have one of the top defensive lines in the country.
Yeah, well, they're so good at recruiting. I mean, what Dabo Swinney has done down at Clemson, he has made the culture a culture that attracts recruits. I mean, they just love going there, and it pays off. And they have been a dominant force for a reason in the ACC and across the country for a long time. But number 3 versus number 5, first game of the season. How does college football get better? I don't know. It's great.
7:30 on ABC tonight. Final 5 minutes of this one for Harry Kirk and the Raiders. Rory Booz on the end around, picking up good yardage. Again, working on things for this team. They've got Stony Brook next week. They've got some games that are going to be tough, but winnable down the road. And they were 0-2 in the spring. They scheduled 4 games, could only play 2 of them, lost both of them on the road. In 2019, they were 4-8, Mark, and even 4-8 is not acceptable to Colgate when you think about the tradition they have and what they were able to do even as late as 2018 when they won 10 games. So getting back to that winning tradition, that's what head coach Stan DeCoste in his first year is going to do.
Yeah, you talk about just a span from 2008 through 2018, 11 seasons. They won five Patriot League championships in those 11 years. I mean, this is a program that is so good traditionally. I mean, it's really, there's like 3 or 4 programs in that Patriot League that are always winning it. Holy Cross, Lafayette, Colgate. And Colgate wants to get back to being in that conversation. And with what we've seen today, they got a real shot.
Costi played for Dick Biddle, the legendary coach there for so many years, and then was an assistant there starting in 2007. Brandon Casamajor bouncing it outside, picking up yet another first down. I love talking to some of the players about DeCoste, and it's about discipline too. The players were like, we got the cleanest locker room in all college football.
No.
Like getting back to basics and taking care of business.
Yeah, it feels a little Mr. Miyagi-ish, right? Like wax on, wax off before you go out there and fight anyone. Let's get the little things done right, because if you can't pick up the locker room, if you can't police your own area, how are we going to trust you on the field? And while it doesn't seem like a direct correlation while you're playing, it seems like, oh my gosh, we got to pick up this again. It's instilling the sense of respect and pride in your work. And I think that that's so important for especially this malleable age of these young men, of understanding what hard work means and what doing the right thing at every chance you get.
Right.
And then that translates to get wins on the football field.
The dorms during camp were at the top of the hill, and guys used to park and try and get rides up to the top of the hill. And Coach DeCoste said, no, when I was a player, we all walked up the top of the hill. And as a team, everybody is going to walk from the field up to the top of the hill.
Yeah, walk up the hill. There's a similar hill, but BC students understand there's a similar hill here. $1 million staircase. You walk up to upper campus. And so I tried to get around that when I was a freshman as well. So I got a little moped, a little 50cc moped to go scoot up that hill. Well, me and my buddy Alex Albright, who was a defensive lineman, we would try to scoot up the hill together. We were okay on the way down, but going up didn't carry us. We had to walk beside it.
About 250 pounds each on that moped. Ooh, dangerous pass out in the flat, gets away with it. Booz on the receiving end, incomplete. It'll bring up 4th down and 5 right at midfield, and Costi opting to punt it away. Kobe White on the receiving end, standing with his heels on his own 10. Fair catch signaled. Pruitt with a good kick, takes a Colgate bounce. Nice, it'll be touchdown right about the 5-yard line. Talked a lot about Boston College's offense today, Mark. Defense has played well too.
Yeah, defense has played really well, and it started up front with the defensive linemen getting pressure early. You saw Sheeta Salah make some big hit plays, Vinny DePalma with the huge hit, and then some good plays by the defensive backs. Mike Palmer with the interception, Jamin Muse with the interception for a touchdown. This Boston College defense is one that knew they needed to get better from last year. They needed to play together, needed to have more confidence with themselves, and they needed to gain more team speed. I talked to Tem Lukabu. I said, have you found that speed? And he thinks he has. He's got speed to match up, play man-to-man against some of these really fast receivers and running backs across the ACC.
Much like Hafley, Lukabu coming with a lot of NFL experience in terms of assistant coaching jobs. Javion Dane running the ball for Boston College. That's a name that's familiar. What is it?
Ron Dane, son of Ron Dane.
A lot of BC players have name recognition in terms of their fathers and family members.
Yeah, well, after you play in the NFL for a while, you understand that there is some life after football too, and they understand the importance of an education, and really good school to match football competitiveness with high quality first class education, and probably why a lot of these guys' sons choose Boston College.
BC's last shutout in an opener against Northeastern back in 2009, 54-0. They lead 51-zip
Please
here
set the
today.
play clock to 40 seconds. The game and the play clock will start on my
Job
signal.
gets tougher though for BC moving forward. They got to go at UMass, right?
Yeah, and you know, UMass is maybe a step up. They have not been very good lately, but they go UMass and Temple. And then the one that's circled on my calendar is Missouri. They play Missouri, an SEC school, at home, and that's going to be
good test.
A really good test. It means it's going to be a really good game and show where Boston College kind of stacks up, because right after that, they go down to Death Valley, and they got Clemson at Clemson.
Ovation for the fans who are in attendance today. 28,991 in the return to football for fans here in Chestnut Hill, and they were treated to a dominating shutout performance. 51-0 the final, as you see DeCosta and Lukabu, two former teammates at Colgate, embrace, and then the two head coaches with a word. Phil Dracovic with a solid day as well. 7 touchdowns by 7 different players today for Boston College.
Wow, that's great. Phil Dracovic was on the throwing end of some of them. Dennis Grossell was on the field as well. And how about these fans? The students are back. The fans are back. Everyone was excited for football today, and they were not disappointed. Boston College gave them a show.
For Mark Hertzlick and Jalen Johnson, I'm